China's GDP has multiplied times 10 since 1978. In the precinct, China has the second largest economy in the world, following the United States. While customers of Chinese exports aren't complaining about this growth, economists have a bevy of issues to take up with China, including currency manipulation, exploitation of labor and environmental pollution. There are more cell phones in China than people in USA. In the precinct, China has the second largest economy in the world, following the United States. While customers of Chinese exports aren't complaining about this growth, economists have a bevy of issues to take up with China, including currency manipulation, exploitation of labor and environmental pollution. China is crawling with KFCs. In 2009, Yum! Brand's New York Stock Exchange Yum! Opened more than 500 new restaurants in mainland China. Yum! Brands is an American company that owns Taco Bell, KFC, Pizza Hut, Long John Silver's, A&W and Wing Street. But in China, KFC has been the big winner. There are currently close to 3,000 KFCs in mainland China. Yum! Claims that it opens nearly one new KFC in mainland China every day. China is the largest foreign holder of USA Treasury securities. Currently, Chinese lenders hold over $840 billion worth of US Treasury securities. That is equal to nearly 10% of the total Treasury debt held by the American public. As China ostensibly moves toward a floating exchange rate, they may be forced to unload some of that debt, which could really put the United States into a bind by restricting their debt financing ability. Nearly one-third of Chinese adults live with their parents. This is not for lack of space. According to Bloomberg, urban construction is up more than 16%, while rural construction is up almost 14% year-over-year. According to a 2000 World Marriage Pattern Study by the United Nations, the average marrying age is 24 and 22 for men and women, respectively. In Chinese culture, people usually live in their parents' homes until marriage. According to the same study, Americans marry about 4 years later than Chinese and embrace living alone before then. It is also Chinese culture for children to take care of their parents, even if it means they have to live together always. China is the source of more than 77% of the US's pirated goods. According to the U.S. Government Accountability Office, China is responsible for 77% of pirated goods seized in the United States, with Hong Kong accountable for another 7%. In a recent Los Angeles crackdown, approximately $12 million of contraband was confiscated, including cigarettes, iPhones and yet-to-be-released DVDs. Over 75% of the Chinese population supports the one-child policy. Even though its workforce has been able to produce stunning results over the past 2 decades, the Chinese government seeks to restrict its growth through the so-called one-child policy. This prohibits many Chinese families from having more than one child. Although seemingly despotic, the policy is supported by over 75% of the Chinese population, according to a study by the Pew Research Center. More than 135 million people in China live on less than $1 a day. Even though China has the world's second largest economy, it is still considered to be a developing country by the World Bank. Most people would jump to conclusions and call this extreme poverty. However, that is not the case, as China has adjusted their policies well enough so that these people can live a decent life under $1 a day. Only 43% of Chinese citizens live in cities. Even though most people now live in rural areas, they are still able to live a very decent life, as most of the places are under development now. Starting a business takes 38 days. Though the central government is slowly releasing its grip as the planner of the economy, it is not yet as encouraging to entrepreneurship as many Western nations. To start a business costs 130% of the average worker's income, and taxes eat up a whopping 64% of profits.